Over the weekend, I did a video on Brian Kilmeade and his words on Fox and Friends last week, in which he did an apology on the air Saturday morning, a rare appearance for him on Saturday, and how, while it went unnoticed originally, even though I heard it fairly early in some of the early parts of the complaints about it, it turned into a thing. I did this as more or less a throwaway for the weekend that has to have something to put out there the weekend. And this has been one of the most popular videos in quite some time. We'll talk numbers in a moment as we do the contrast and comparing of what we're talking about tonight, because today, Brian Kilmeade has a job, and many people were worrying, why does he have a job for the thing he said? Maybe homeless people should be involuntarily lethal injected. In the context, that was pretty terrible in itself. But he's not the conversation topic for this Wednesday evening. It's this guy, Jimmy Kimmel, who is now taking a bench seat, sitting back and not getting paid, not doing TV for a while. And one Donald Trump is very happy about this. You may have remembered he brought this up when Stephen Colbert's show was announced that it was going to be ending its run in the end of this season. And then Trump put on Truth Social that no talent, Jimmy Kimmel is next. Well, actually, he kind of is right now, because here's the story as it is breaking a few hours ago and developing into what is becoming a quick lesson in how free speech may actually work in 2025. ABC has taken ABC's show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, off the air indefinitely after backlash to Kimmel's on-air remarks about the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The move followed an announcement by major ABC affiliates across the nation, including Nexstar, one of the biggest ones, that they would preempt the show until further notice, not giving a return date. ABC has not given a return date for Jimmy Kimmel coming back on the air at the moment as well. The monologue held on Monday, Kimmel criticized political reactions to Kirk's shooting and mocked figures on the right, feeling complaints that they saw his tone as offensive and insensitive. Nexstar, which owns dozens of ABC affiliates, says the comments didn't reflect its communities and pulled the show from its stations and was just going to keep it off the air till they felt like he learned his lesson. ABC went a step further after some comments from the FCC commissioner on some podcasts that basically said Kimmel should have some issues taken to him. Not necessarily be fired or gotten rid of, but something should be done. The decision was apparently a pretty quick one as things went by, as we found out pretty soon after the affiliate started dropping him from the time slots. ABC decided to go ahead and pull the plug completely for a while, underscoring how station groups can shape national programming. The many stations owned by Nexstar, which does seem to lean right and do a lot of things that support a MAGA administration, were enough to figure that there's enough people to complain about it. Los Angeles Times and Variety both reported that the show is off the schedule for the unforeseeable future. Replacement program to be slotted by ABC and local stations. We'll figure out what it is essentially tonight when you turn your TV. So the ratings for that time slot will be pretty heavy because no one knows what's going to be there till it's there. President Donald Trump praised the suspension, read that properly, on social media, while critics of the decision call it censorship by proxy. Coverage notes that Kimmel's long-running feuds with Trump and other conservatives may have a reason why there's celebration on one side and some hand-wringing on the other. And his current contract still runs through 25-26 season. Kimmel was one of the first people to basically say that primetime the network television is dying, and of course late night TV is essentially a dead man walking. It's basically not going to be here in at least a decade, if not sooner, and we're seeing that as more late night things are being canceled, being curtailed, being changed. And of course right now they're pulling Kimmel off the air, although his ratings aren't as bad as Trump says they are, because of a statement that can be taken in and out of context any way you want it to go. ABC and Kimmel's team have not detailed terms on the hiatus or the path back. No words of mea culpas or anything to make things happen. Station groups will fill the slots in the near term, and the scale of preemptions suggests that any return require a coordinated network effort and an agreement. Basically a whole lot of words, a whole lot of legals showing up. The story, as my chat GPT is telling me, is developing. Signals like this show responsiveness to audience standards at the local level. Although Nexstar is basically a national level of advertisers, a national level of aggregators, the local stations said they did not like the way Trump was portrayed or conservatives were portrayed. And many people said late night TV for conservative has been kind of a last stop to go to because they are essentially being mocked all the time. So if local station level can actually make things happen, here's an example. It's open space for a reset in the tone and editorial guardrails and opening up the timelines of things in the actual afternight shifts. In my local station, back in before Jimmy Kimmel moved to the live top, not the pre-taped one after Nightline disappeared, they actually aired an episode of According to Jim for that 30-minute slot beforehand, and then went to Jimmy Kimmel on tape delay because they got more advertisers dollars from the local end and that first part of that half hour with According to Jim. And then Jimmy Kimmel was okay ratings-wise, so people stayed up for it. Plus, the other late night shows are in the same ring as well. This shows that local TV may have more juice than we thought they would, especially on this national type show. But of course, here's the kicker: free speech. Free expression concerns are being raised across the nation, setting a precedent where affiliate pressures can sideline national programs. And it depends on what's going on and what politician has their say to talk about the politicization of late night TV. Now, having a show basically be censored on a local level is nothing new. Many various shows are basically pulled off the air because of controversy, and it's sometimes in the family hour, if that still exists, so they may pull up from that. And of course, the local affiliate may do specials all the time. It's football season. There's always a football special. There's always some sort of charity special here or there that pops in something that may not be as popular or in a time slot that works early on for the charity of the show. And it's a show that is replayed at a later date that's easier to get to, something that can be played back. And in the day and age of DVRs, it's easy to pick it up and not watch it live, so your DVR will figure out where it is and go forward. If you're looking for Jimmy Kimmel's style of comedy, ain't going to be there tonight, ain't going to be there tomorrow. No reason to believe it's coming back anytime soon because it's going to come with some sort of mea culpa that I don't think Jimmy Kimmel's ready to give. Now, let's go back to Brian Kilmeade for just a moment. As I said, I made this video. Go back to the feeds and look for it. I may put a link into the comments so you can actually go directly to this one if you want to give this some more juice. This has been one of my biggest videos in a while, biggest performance video in a while. And it was something I thought was a throwaway line, but either the bots got to it or just people that really are compassionate about this got to this one. Because here's the chart as it goes. And I am a small channel, only have about 2,400 and so actual subscribers. So 6,000 views on a video as of right now of 7:49 on the 17th of September p.m. is a big deal for me. With that watch time and 13 subscribers to this video. And this video has been out there for a couple days. So it had a day to grow. And then, of course, more or less kind of slowly growing back and forth, still getting comments, not turning comments off yet. And they're all fairly civil. And the bulk of them go to the lines of, why does a man who says that people should be killed live on air still have a job 3 days later when I posted this, and now 5 days later? No one's complaining about Brian Kilmeade. They are complaining, apparently, about Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel has been suspended for indefinitely. Let's just call it that. Brian Kilmeade came on Saturday. He apologized. All is good. How is this actually helping us out? How is this showing us that speech is worthy? How is this, let's call it a spectacle, going to be played out? Jimmy Kimmel was benched indefinitely. We don't know when he's coming back and what the actual conditions will be. Let's talk about it.